Hello everyone. I am Dr. Sawan Giridhar Dharmpuriwar. Today we are going to discuss a dramatic type, tragi comedy. As we all know that major dramatic types are tragedy, comedy, tragicomedy, farce, melodrama, the masque, the one act play, the dramatic monologue. In our last lectures, we have discussed about comedy, tragedy, and today's topic is tragicomedy. As the word implies, tragicomedy is a type of drama, kind of drama, which contains both tragic and comic elements mingled into it, mixed into it. We will learn this topic under under few subtopics, and those subtopics are definition, nature, features of tragicomedy, origin or history of tragicomedy. Next one is arguments against the tragicomedy and arguments in favor of the tragicomedy. So one by one, we will deal with these subtopics. When we think about definition, nature, or features of the tragicomedy, I can once again say that tragicomedy is a type of drama which is half comedy and half tragedy. Rather, we can say that tragicomedy is a drama in which tragic and comic elements are mixed. Tragic and comic elements are mingled together harmoniously so that drama looks like what we can say. It is just like a mixture of both the tragic and the comic elements. As we say that tragedy is a drama dealing with the darker side of life and comedy is a drama dealing with the happier side of life. In the same way, tragicomedy is a kind of drama which deals with the darker and the lighter sides of life at the same time. It sometimes shows the what we can say dark shades of life, the sadness of the life, and at the same time, in the same drama, we will find some fine strokes of happiness, some fine strokes of what we can say joy into that particular drama. And that's why I'm saying that tragedy. That's why I'm saying that this is a drama which is presenting before us both the shades of life, the darker side and the lighter side. The tragic and comic elements are mingled, mixed into this type of drama harmoniously so that we get both the elements to see into one same drama. I can next say that it is a complete tragedy up to certain point, and after that it gets converted into a complete comedy. Rather, we can say that rising action in tragicomedy is tragedy and falling action into tragicomedy is comedy. So in short, I can say that the drama which presents on the stage both the shades of life, the drama which is filled with the tragic and the comic elements at the same time, the drama which is half comedy and half tragedy, that type of drama is known as the tragicomedy. Then I can say that when we think about the origin and history of the tragicomedy, it is very clear that the Greek masters, the Greek dramatists were completely unknown to this form. They were not known with the tragicomedy. They were not what we can say unknown that this kind of drama can be exist, because Greek masters only advocated tragedy or the comedy. They never believed in the mingling of the two. They never believed in the mixing of tragic and comic elements into the same drama. And that's why I'm saying that the Greek masters were unknown to this particular form of the drama. Then how this form came to England, how this form was developed, I can say that this particular form has made its way to English literature, has came to England, or rather this form of drama developed under the Italian and the Spanish influences. We can say that this particular drama form, tragicomedy, has been borrowed into England or came to England under the Spanish and the Italian influences. From the Spanish drama, from the Italian drama, this particular kind of form, particular kind of drama has entered in English literature, and then the English writers started writing the tragicomedies. When did it come to England? Then it entered in the regime of King James I. During that time, it was what we can say started. It came to England and it was started presenting on the stage of English stage, or rather I can say that Beaumont and Fletcher, those were the writers who popularized this particular kind of form, this particular kind of drama on English stage. And during the Elizabethan age, William Shakespeare was the writer who has used it very properly, very perfectly, and he has popularized this particular form of the drama. And English people, English audience started enjoying tragicomedy on the stage of English drama. Next one is, which are the famous examples of this particular drama? I can say that the dramas written by William Shakespeare, The Tempest, The Winter's Tale, Cymbeline, are most perfect examples of tragicomedies written into English literature. Even in some of the tragedies, even in some of the comedies written by William Shakespeare, we find such type of mingling. Means in the tragedies of William Shakespeare, we find many such incidents are there which creates laughter on the face of the audience. At the same time, the comedies of William Shakespeare, there are many tragic elements who makes us sad, who makes us sorrowful. That's why William Shakespeare was the master who has used it very perfectly, and he presented both the elements, the darker and the happiness side of the life on the stage. Then I can say that many critics, many writers who were against the tragicomedy, and there were many writers, group of writers who were in favor of the tragicomedy. So who were the writers who were against the tragicomedies, or what were the arguments placed by those writers against the tragicomedies? As I have already told you that Greek masters were completely unknown to this particular form. They people never believed in the mingling of the tragic and comic element into the same drama. They people never believed that sadness and happiness can be presented on the stage in the form of the drama. That's why the first argument, or the first people, or the rather the people who argumented against the tragicomedy were the great Greek masters. In the Aristotle's Poetics, in the theory of unity, Aristotle also advocated only tragedy, or the comedy. When he puts his unity of action, in unity of action, Aristotle clearly says that the plot of the drama should be purely tragic or the comic. There should not be mingling of the both elements into the same drama. And that's why I'm saying that Aristotle or the great Greek masters were against the tragicomedy. At the same time, writers like Sidney, Addison, Milton objected the blend of the two. They never believed that these kind of combination should be there into the drama. They believed that the blend of the two will mar the beauty of the play. It will destroy the beauty of the play. Play will not look, what we can say, nice and beautiful when it will be presented with the mingling of both the elements. Sidney even called this kind of mingling, or rather he said that it is a mongrel kind of writing. Mongrel is a word, or rather we can say that mongrel is a dog, which is of a, what we can say, the dog of a mixed breed is called as mongrel. And Sidney called this mixing, called this mingling of both the elements, tragic and comic elements into the drama, as a mongrel kind of writing. Addison even went beyond, and he said tragicomedy is one of the most monstrous inventions ever enter into the poetic thoughts. He did not believe in such kind of mingling or the mixing, and he says that drama should be either purely tragic or either it should be purely comic. There should not be mixing of the both the elements in the drama. So as I have already told you that arguments were against the tragicomedies, but a group of writers, some critics also believe that tragicomedy is a fine blend and it should be presented on the stage and people will like it, audience will like it. So the writers like William Shakespeare, writers like Nicole favored this particular form, and they believed that this form is proper one. This kind of drama should be presented on the stage. And then it is followed by the modern dramatists. The modern dramatists are also in favor of this form, or rather I can say that in modern days we find that many drama which contains the mingling of the tragic and the comic elements into it. These people believe that there is no harm in blend of two. There is no, what we can say, any problem in mixing the tragic and comic elements into the same drama, into a single drama, because they believe that drama is a mirror of life. And if you are saying that drama is mirror of life, life is not only about sorrow, or life is not only about the happiness. It is the mixture of both the elements. In life, we find that sorrow is there, sadness is there, happiness is there, joy is there. And if in life we witness, if in life we experience both the elements together, then why these elements will not appear into the drama, and that's why they favored the mixing of two. And rather putting their point, they says that if sorrow and happiness are there into life at same time, then in the drama also these two elements can be mixed, and that type of drama will be enjoyed by the audience. And while concluding the topic, we can say that once again, today, tragicomedy has established itself to a high position. And in modern drama, we find that the dramatists are writing their plays, mingling both the elements together. We find that in a same drama, sorrow is there, pathos are there, many incidents which are filled with sadness are there, and at the same time, many incidents are there which creates laughter on our face. And that's why today, tragicomedy has established itself to the high position, and people are enjoying watching this drama, enjoying to watch this drama on the stage. And at the same time, the people who enjoys that particular drama, they believe that tears and laughter lie in close proximity in life. Nicole once said that tears and laughter lie in close proximity in life, and that's why these elements should be presented together on the stage. And these dramas, tragicomedies, are written according with the realities of the life. As the life is a mixture of sorrow and happiness, in the same way, these realities are presented in the form of the drama with the help of tragicomedies. And that's why they say that these tragicomedies are written according to the realities of the life, and those are written according to the popular taste and interest of the audience. And if the audience likes to see these elements together in the form of the drama, if the people enjoy it, then why these type of drama should not be written? And in all, to conclude, I can say that tragicomedy has today established itself to a high position, and the drama containing both the elements are both the tragic and comic elements are written excessively by the dramatists, and at the same time on the stage also they are getting success. So this is all about tragicomedy. Once again, we will take a quick recap that what we have seen. We have first of all gone through this topic with the few subtopics, and those subtopics were definition, nature and features of tragicomedy. Then next one was origin and history of tragicomedy. Next one was examples of tragicomedy, then arguments against tragicomedy and arguments in favor of the tragicomedy. In definition and nature, I have already told you that tragicomedy is a kind of drama, kind of play which is half comedy and half tragedy, or rather I can say that it is a complete tragedy up to a certain point and complete comedy thereafter. Rising action in this particular kind of drama is a tragedy, and falling action is a comedy. Rising action into this drama is tragedy, and falling action is a comedy. When we think about the origin and history, as Greek masters never advocated this kind of drama, they were unknown to this form, but this form has made its way to England from Spanish and the Italian drama. This particular form was borrowed from Spain and Italy, and then it came to England during the regime of King James I, and the writers like Beaumont and Fletcher popularized it, and the greatest dramatist of English literature, William Shakespeare, has used this form very perfectly during the regime of Queen Elizabeth. During the Elizabethan age, William Shakespeare has created some of the very perfect tragicomedies, and those tragicomedies were The Tempest, Winter's Tale, and Cymbeline. Even in the tragedies of the William Shakespeare, we find many elements of comedy, and even in the comedies of William Shakespeare, we find that many elements of tragedy are there. As I have already told you that a group of people, a group of writers, a group of critics were against the tragicomedy, and a group of writers were in favor of the tragicomedy. And the people, the writers, the masters who were against the tragicomedy were the Greek masters, Aristotle, Sidney, writers like Addison and Milton, and they people objected the blend of comic and tragic element into the same drama. As we have seen, as we have learned already, that Aristotle in his Poetics told that in unity of action, the plot of the play should be purely tragic or the comic, and that's why he never advocated the mixing of the tragic and elements into the same drama. Then the people who favored tragicomedy, they people says that, or the people told that drama is mirror of life, and if life is filled with sorrow and happiness at the same time, then why these elements should not be mingled together into the form of the drama. And that's why the writers like Shakespeare, Nicole favored the mingling of the two, favored the mixing of the two. And while concluding the topic, I can say that today in modern days, tragicomedy has established itself to a high position and has become a major dramatic types, and dramatists are writing their plays mingling both the elements, tragic and comic element, into the same play, and they are presenting tragicomedies on the stage, and they are also getting the success. I think this is all about today's topic, tragicomedy. I hope you might have enjoyed the lecture, you might have understood it, and thank you all of you.